All right, we're gonna try it again with Jose Raymond. It's ridiculous. Hey Patrick. See Patrick Bernard just came on. Patrick, we got Jose coming on. If I can figure it out. For God's sakes. No, no new books coming up. Nothing's new with me. Not even books.
Here we go.
I don't know what. We're doing homeschooling here, so maybe everyone's on the Wi-Fi.
Now, the audio broke up. It was crazy.
Oh, Mike.
So, Chris, I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the latest back and forth between Sean Ray and Dexter?
Sean Ray always is in some type of battle with everyone. Usually, it's not on physique. It's usually on like gossip.
Right?
I think that Sean Ray's best 92. Originally, 92 Sean was the most peeled he ever was. If you go back and look, that's the first year Dorian won. Sean was beyond lights out, mesmerizing condition.
Yeah.
And I think that's his best, and 94 is his best.
And what do you weigh? Around 208, 210?
Yeah, 210. So I don't know if I don't know how he'd stack up against. Originally, I thought Dexter at his best could beat him.
I do too.
And, no matter what people like to say, this and that, the guys are bigger now. And Dexter's proven that he can beat everyone, essentially.
Yeah.
Sean proved that he could beat mostly everyone, but he couldn't beat like a Nasser at Nasser's best.
No.
He couldn't even stand next to him. And I think, but when Sean was standing next to Nasser at Nasser's best, Sean was definitely not at his best. He was cut and he was hard, but he was not 92. But
yeah.
I think Dexter at his best would beat him. I think he's got actually like standing from behind. I think he would just
demolish.
But he'd beat him from behind, standing relaxed.
Yeah.
His most muscular. I mean, his side chest. His most muscular when it's really, really at his best. Dexter's. I think him too.
Yeah. Well, Dexter has a way of being short. He's the same height as Sean Ray, but he's much wider, clavicles.
That's what I said. From behind, standing from behind could kill him.
Yeah. As far as muscle quality goes, it's a wash. They're both unbelievably mature muscle, even at their younger ages. But Dexter has a way of looking taller. Like he's so much wider. He's got longer arms. So when he hits a front double, he's taking up more width. From behind, he's so much wider, bigger, harder. Sean had a good rear double, but he didn't have the hams and glutes like Dexter. Sean had better calves, but that's not really judged.
Yeah.
I just don't know why someone is respected physique-wise as Sean even takes part in these conversations.
Well, I mean, Dexter's got a level at certain shows in his career. He's got a level of detail and dryness that, can almost beat everyone at any time.
Right.
Who's way bigger than him, let alone Sean.
Right.
And my gut was someone asked me, someone had texted me, I had no idea what was going on. They said, who's better at their all-time best, Sean or Dexter? I said, probably Dexter. So, I mean, that was just right off the, right from the gut.
Yeah, no question in my mind. I mean, Sean is awesome. One of the greatest physiques of all time.
For sure, for
But
sure.
you could argue Dexter is the greatest.
Well, if
You know?
you weigh the longevity and not, some people compete at, the longevity of winning.
Right.
How many shows has Sean done? 12? He's only done 12 pro shows, probably. I'm just guessing.
I think, yeah, somewhere around there. I think he did 12 or 13 Olympias.
Yeah,
Plus,
he never did other shows, so he can't have done more than 15 shows. Dexter's done 15 in fucking 3 weeks.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, all that aside, though, I think Dexter is bigger, harder, and better.
Yeah.
Just I don't even know why. It's funny. Dexter's a riot, and he's someone, as you've said many times, you do not want to get in a pissing match with Dexter.
Oh, no.
You're gonna lose.
No, because, you know what? Because, I mean, Dexter has too many facts on his side. How about that? There's 7 things called facts.
Right.
He could start with, I won the Olympia.
Right.
He could follow it up with, I've won 5 Arnolds. He could say, I've beaten NASA. I mean, the list, he's beaten Wheeler, he's beaten Cormier, he's beaten, I mean, the list is insane. Levrone, that's
Oh
probably,
yeah.
Dexter's the only one who can make the decision for bodybuilding today. Like, are the guys better in the 90s than today? Because, hi, I was there and I'm here now.
Right.
So he should be like the Supreme Court on making the decision.
Right. Well, he already said it in an interview recently. He said the guys today are just much bigger.
Yeah, much bigger.
As a whole.
Much.
He brought up the fact that Kevin Levrone at his best competed around 245, and he's 5 inches taller than Bonac, who competes at 235.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is not. I'll give you a physique that's probably not appreciated, and throw him in the 90s. And how would he do? I'll ask you. How would you take Akeem Williams' look from the Arnold Classic and throw it into one of these 90s shows?
Oh, forget it. Well, he would have been like the Victor Richards that actually competed.
Jose, I want to hang up right now. I was just gonna say he'd be like a Victor Richards.
Yeah, only he had the balls to go compete against these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have won a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Because instead of coming in at 270, he'd come in at 245 and destroy everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I'd have to go with Dexter, and then what are they going to have, a fight or something?
No, they just nonstop posts going up about it, and
Where are they battling it?
either through different media outlets on Instagram. Dexter just made his final rebuttal and said, "This is the last I'm going to respond to this nonsense."
Yeah.
And because someone posted a picture of Sean doing the most muscular and put arrows pointing saying, "No synthol, no implants, no bubble gut," all this stuff. And Sean reposted it, which might as well have posted it himself then.
Well, the problem is, of course, people are just people.
Yeah.
I mean, they would give me advice on how to run my real estate like it's the truth.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what you got to do. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I hate that, especially when I didn't ask.
You know what I mean? I mean, in terms of, like, I guess you picked Dexter, I picked Dexter. I'm sure, like, Jay would pick Dexter. You know what I mean? A lot of the peers.
Yeah.
The
real argument is could Sean beat an all-time best flex?
John Roden?
No. Sean Ray beat an all-time best flex Lewis. That's who he should be comparing himself to, because he would have been a 212 back then.
Yeah.
If he were today, he would be a 212 guy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No
because
doubt.
he's not as big as Bonac, so he wouldn't. I don't think he would
No,
made the top 5, top 6 at this year's Olympia.
he would not beat Bonac. He's not as thick as Bonac.
No.
No. That's a very interesting comment because you want to dissect it, close your eyes, and think of Bonac's most muscular.
No, he's just too big.
And his side chest. Between the hamstring drop, the pecs, the arms, the shoulders,
Yeah. And Sean didn't have great legs. They were shredded, separated, but he didn't have huge legs by any means.
Yeah.
He just had a great physique, great skin, great,
Yeah.
great everything.
Yeah.
But by today's standards, I don't even know why he opened up that can of worms. I would have just ignored the conversation.
He loves to open up can of worms. That's what he does.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's still one of the greatest ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Just that, without a doubt, Dexter's better.
Yeah.
He's the greatest, one of the greatest ever, and Dexter's better.
Right. Right. Bonac full blown versus Flex Lewis at 220. Who wins? Huh?
You asking me? Or you asking me?
Someone just asked. It's a good question.
I'd have to see them on stage.
Right.
Because when you competed, let's say, for example, I'll just say it. People can say he was off. I mean, that's not the same physique that showed up at the Olympia, but the Arnold Sports Festival, you were the thickest guy and the densest on stage, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the best back double, best back flat spread, arguably, top 3 in the most muscular. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't even your best.
Right.
I'm just saying compared to open people. It's not like you, quote, oh, you belong there. It's like, no, you're beating people.
Yeah. I think, Bonac's bigger, but Flex has better flow. And, Bonac's condition is pretty nuts.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't say anyway. Flex might have more like the minute details, like extra etches and stuff. But as far as deep separation and stuff, Bonac's got that all over the place.
Well, the $1 million question is, will Flex stay on the line?
Yeah. He'll have to step forward so he's at least comparable in height.
You know how people would have like a sparring partner in boxing?
Yeah.
And they would like say, you got to spar with, so-and-so, Marvin Hagel is a lefty, so we got to get a lefty in there to
Right.
so that you get used to it. We're going to have Bonac's going to have practice because he's not going to know what to do. Like maybe I can fill in. I'll say, I'll be Flex, and then I'll step over the line and Bonac has to react and step up. So he's stepping up and what to do.
Yeah. I'll sign up for that. I know Flex's every move.
Huh?
I know his every move.
Oh,
So I can be the sparring partner for him.
I've displayed it right in the hotel room, right? Wiping the oil off, patting people on the back, stepping up.
Yeah.
Right?
And then blaming you. He'd be, yeah, come on, guys, back up. And I'm like, you're the one moving forward.
Well,
Don't worry about it, mate.
The question really is, if the Olympia goes off, do they put Flex dead center in the middle right off?
If he deserves it, sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I think, with Sean and Phil not being there, there's no reason Flex can't be. He'll be at least compared with the top 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
No question. His quality's incredible,
Yeah.
And they are judging smaller guys better now.
Absolutely. Sergio made he dissected, because he knows bodybuilding, he dissected, like when people ask me, like, can so-and-so win, can so-and-so win? I said, you got to see them next to each other. And, he dissected that show and the Arnold in terms of you had Bonac, you had Dexter, uh, the way they line them up, if those two are in the middle, that's the running for the show, because all of a sudden you validated the short guy. And there's nothing wrong with validating the short guy, especially if they're the best. But if you put like Ramy in the middle, you know what I mean, and break it up, your
Yeah.
eyes go like the bigger guy. And the
Yeah.
assumption is, okay, now we're judging this on, quote, bigness,
Right.
I mean, it's the dynamic, it's the dynamic how they, so you're right. I mean, if you got like in the first call, who has to be considered a favorite because he can't get out of shape, and he can be sitting home while everyone's doing push-ups and sit-ups and eating Burger King and still staying in better shape than most of the guys.
Right.
You got Bonac, you got Dexter, you got Flex. I mean, that's not a lot of height.
No, but it just happens to be this in this era. Those are the best guys, the shorter guys. Some of the guys are on their way. Someone wants us to talk about Max Charles. Max was a monster, absolute nightmare at the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, totally.
That guy was unbelievable.
Yeah, best he's looked.
I forgot how good his midsection is. Like
Unbelievable. It's the best
he's got the best abs in bodybuilding after Roden.
Yeah, he's got the best texturations. He's got the best, cap delts.
His legs look great because he was in such good condition.
Oh yeah. No, I said when I did the wrap up, I said he did the impossible, because when I worked with him, he looked tremendous and his back looked good, but you could definitely be critical of the back, and here his back was nice detailed. So to get that back detailed,
Milos did something right.
Yeah, I know. Big time.
Yeah. My hip is great. The other one's going though. How's your hip, Chris?
My hip is good. My back is killing me.
Yeah. Well, you got to stretch that. That's because you're doing too many live videos.
I know. I just put my feet up. It's about as much stretching as I get. I'm going to do it right now because on my reclining chair. Uh-oh, did we freeze again?
There you go. Yes, Rami could win the Olympics.
What's he doing?
Ouch. Rami should stop competing. No, I thought he looked great at the Arnold. Chugga.